dat heel goed, dat is een enorm talent om te hebben, als je dat kunt doen.
Thanks, guys. Questions in English. Thank you for your
Success.
patience.
Kim, after you dropped the first set, was a small part of you thinking, oh no, I can't go home this early?
No, not really, but I did have a feeling that, you know, if I would have just, you know, give myself that chance, because she was playing really well, and I felt that she was really, you know, dominating a lot of the points just because she was stepping in and taking the risks early on, and it was working. She was serving well, so I think a few things that were really going well for her. I had, you know, my forehand wasn't really going the way that I wanted to. I had the net tape a few times, and but then I think, you know, it was a smart move to just really mix it up a little bit in the beginning of that second set, throw some high balls in there, just, you know, just to mix it up a little bit for her, because she loves stepping in and just dictating the points, you know, and that's what she loves to do. So I was kind of just trying to figure out a way where I could, yeah, just mix, you know, my game up a little bit so that, you know, I would, you know, break her rhythm, and it worked. You know, she started making some double faults, you know, some weaker second serves where I could really step in and just be the first from my first shot onwards. And I think that's girls like that. You know, you just really have to go for the lines early on.
Is this a notch in your belt to come back from one set down and get this in?
Yeah, that's what helps. You don't really know, okay, how did I play today? There were a few things that I took away from that first match that were going well, but then out of this match, it's that mental, I think, satisfaction that you have after a match like this is you know, okay, I you know, stayed focused, I, you know, stayed aggressive and really worked out a game plan that you know, beat her today, and I think that's something that's even more rewarding, I think, when you win a match like this.
Do you feel like you're an unseeded player? Do you feel like someone who can contend for a title like you did so far?
To be honest, I don't really think like that. You know, even when I was seeded, I don't think, you know, I mean, there used to be, I remember in the past, you know, the favorites, and there was a lot of like talk like that, but you know, I think every girl who's out there, whether it's Serena or Safina or myself or whoever, I think, you know, we know that we have to win those matches, and if you want to get there. So I think, you know, you don't really focus on, you know, especially at the start of the tournament, you don't focus on, you know, eventually winning the tournament. But I'm just going to go out there and just, you know, my next match is against Clijsters, which is going to be tough, and that's all I'm going to focus on right now, and I don't want to think too far ahead or anything.
You feel like you have enough confidence in the way you're playing right now that
it was a
game up against the best players?
Bless you. It was a nice feeling to have in Cincinnati and Toronto, knowing that I was capable of beating some of those, you know, top 10 players again. That was a good feeling to have, because that was something that I didn't know what it was going to be like out there playing those girls again. So after those, you know, the evaluation after those two tournaments was like, okay, I can still, you know, I can beat those girls if I play well, and that was a really good feeling to have. But like, you know, I haven't played the big ones yet. You know, Venus, Serena, Sharapova, Dimitrieva. I haven't played those girls yet. So, but like I said, hopefully I'll give myself a shot at doing that here. But you know, first the third round.
There is a lot of anticipation about, you know, fourth round, you know, Venus. What do you think of her knee situation? I mean, if you've been looking at that.
You know, she's winning her matches, you know, and that's what they do. I mean, they're really good at when it's necessary, you know, really, you know, getting their game up there. And I think obviously she's struggling. You know, she's taped heavily, and but she's still winning her matches, and she's, you know, I don't know who she plays in her third round, but it's going to be tougher. And I think you know, what we don't know now is how her knee's going to react, and you know, after a couple of matches and everything. But I'm sure that when she, you know, plays those bigger matches, she's going to be ready for it, and you know, she doesn't need to take that many steps with those long legs. So, you know, I think she can just take the pressure off a little bit there.
Having been at the top of the women's game, what are your thoughts about some of the pressures that Denard is going through now as number one? Criticism about the ranking system with, you know, such struggles.
Look, I really hope that she's not letting it get to her, because you know, I was in that situation a few years ago where you know, I was number one and not having won a Grand Slam, and you know, it will happen for her without a doubt. I think she's good enough. She's a great athlete, and you know, she's improved a lot. You know, I think having played her in Cincinnati, and just the way that she played there against me was, you know, I think some of the best tennis that I've ever had, you know, standing in front of me, and it's just a matter of just being consistent. You know, obviously she's lost against a few girls who are not ranked as high, or where people, expect her to win, but you know, it doesn't work like that anymore in tennis these days, you know. But like I said, I really hope she doesn't, you know, let it influence her, and just keeps working the way she has been for, you know, the last year or so, because it's obviously working. You know, she's number one. She's consistent. She's won some big tournaments, and you don't get to number one like that. You know, it doesn't get given to you. So she's really, you know, she deserves it. I think she works hard, but then again, you know, there's a lot of other good players who are trying to get up there. So, you know, we'll see what happens after this.
Have you noticed any differences on the tour since you come back?
Yes, a lot of Russian is being spoken in the locker room, which is fine. But it's just, that's something that I've really noticed. There's a lot of young girls, you know, Russian girls, and it's you know, it's great to see that girls, you know, when I was playing, the Russians that were coming up, you know, Petrova, Dimitrieva, Kuznetsova, have kind of helped develop, I think, tennis in Russia, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now, is that it's a really popular sport there right now, and so I guess they helped creating those tennis players that